Hi there, and welcome back to my LinkedIn Basics series. This is video number 2, and last week we covered the LinkedIn banner. You know, that visual real estate at the top of your LinkedIn profile that can either help you to grab attention or lose an opportunity in an instance. If you haven't checked out that video, make sure you check it out after this one. Today, we're going to cover 2 other super important pieces of your LinkedIn profile. We're going to look into your headline and your profile picture. If you get these wrong, people will just scroll by your profile. They will completely ignore you, or what's even worse, they might not accept your connection request if they get the wrong feeling for you. So in today's video, I'm going to go through the do's and don'ts and also give you a couple of examples. When you get them right, you will lay the foundation for creating real amazing opportunities on LinkedIn. Let's start with the headline. It actually doesn't only show when someone comes to your profile. It shows every time that you make a comment or every time that you send someone a connection request. And that is why it's so important to get the headline right and to get away from the old headlines, the Chief Marketing Officer or Chief of Staff or CEO or founder or whatever it is that you're currently using for the first 6 to 7 words in your headline. And I will come back to why those 6 to 7 words are super important. You know, that little line of text, it actually travels with you all over the world. So you need to get it right. So what are the things that you need to think about? Well, who are you helping? What are you helping them with? And with that, I mean, what are the results that you're getting? And what is your unique solution? I don't want you to overthink this. It's not set in stone. You can always change it later, and you will change it later. But I don't want you to change it like every single week. Try it out. If it doesn't work, then go on and try something else instead. What's really important here is that you don't try to be clever or cute, because if people don't understand what it is that you mean, they will not feel as if they need your help. If you have a little bit too cold, pitchy type of headlines, they won't accept your connection request, because the first thing when they see your connection request is that they get the feeling that you're going to pitch them immediately. And that is why it's so important to get your headline right. Your ideal client should never have to guess what it is that you're doing. So let me give you an example. One of my clients, she used to call herself an inner balance coach. And I said, that's okay if that is what your ideal clients know that actually means. Are you helping people that really speak that type of language? Probably not, because her target audience were working moms, and they probably don't say, oh, I need an inner balance coach because my inner balance is off. So you need to think in terms of, who am I really targeting here? And what is the language that they would use so that they feel that this is the person that I need? Clarity always beats trying to be clever. And by the way, that goes not only for your headline, it also goes for your content. So when you're writing your content, make sure you speak the language of your ideal clients. And I know that many of us coaches use the coaching language, but that is wrong, especially if you're trying to attract people who might still be in corporate or who might be like an earlier version of yourself. Think back. What was the language that you used back then? And you probably have forgotten about the language that you used, which is why you need to continue having those discussions with the people that you want to help. Because remember, you are 5 steps ahead of your ideal client. You have read the books, you have listened to the podcast, you have taken the trainings, you have done the certifications. You have changed your vocabulary completely compared to where you were before. When I was back in corporate, if someone would have said to me then, hey, Josephine, you need to look into your limiting beliefs, that will solve everything for you, I would have said, I have no clue what it is that you are talking about. And that is the thing about limiting beliefs. We believe that they are true. So what are the beliefs that your clients are still carrying around? Then dive into those and use those. What are the terms that they are Googling? What are the searches they are doing on YouTube, for example? Look into that, and then you will find the language that really speaks to your audience. So let's look into a couple of examples, like how not to do it and how you can do it instead. But remember, it's your headline. You really need to feel comfortable with it, because if you feel icky with it or something, then it won't work. if you try to be too general, it will really miss the mark. You can't just say that you're an executive coach or a leadership coach. You need to narrow it down. And I know as a coach, you could say, Josephine, I can help a 15-year-old and I can help an 85-year-old. Yes, you can, but they don't think that. They want to work with a specialist. And also, if you think about industries, I come from the financial services industry, and there, even insurance thought that me coming from a banking world didn't have much knowledge about insurance processes. So people think that they are very special, they are very unique. And the more you can narrow down on their uniqueness, like what they really think in the bucket that they belong, the easier it will actually be to attract your ideal clients. So how can we do it instead then? So one suggestion could be helping middle managers secure your next promotion. That is a very solution-based headline. If someone is a middle manager, they would know exactly if that's even what they call themselves. I honestly don't know that. Maybe they would call themselves a leader. However, be careful with that one, because even if I was a leader when I was at the bank, I would never have called myself a leader. So I would have scrolled by that too. But here it's more about the promotion. What is it that they want? They probably want promotion. They want to be recognized. They want to take the next step. What are the things that you would love to help them achieve? And how can you showcase that? That those are the results that you will help them achieve. Another example, health coach, life coach, lifestyle coach. Way too broad. For whom? What is it that you're helping them with? And here, I know that many who say, well, I'm a health coach or a lifestyle coach. And when people come to me, what they say is that they want to lose weight. They want to lose 10 to 15 kilos or whatever it might be that your ideal clients say that they want. But the health coaches often are a little bit reluctant to use that because they say, I do so much more. Yes, I know. But what is it that your ideal clients say when they come to you? Do they say, I want to fit into my old pair of jeans. I want to lose weight. I want to be able to play with my kids. What are the words that they are using? And then you use it in your headline. So maybe instead, health coach for women 40 plus. Ditch diets and reclaim your energy. Energy is a big word that everyone is using today. Confidence is a big word that many people are using today. However, confidence is really difficult to say. It's more about what happens once someone have gained confidence. What is it that they want to do? Is it to travel the world? Is it to lose weight? Is it to get that next promotion? What is it that they want to achieve? And then you use that in your headline. So let's head over to my profile and check out what it looks like there. So as you can see, I have a pretty long headline where I state helping coaches go from one-to-one grind to scalable growth using LinkedIn. Who am I helping? What am I helping them with? And how do I help them? Mainly it's through LinkedIn. We create programs to help people grow on LinkedIn, but also then to create their scalable offers. As you can see, though, it doesn't end there. I also have Creator of Standout to Sell, which is one of my programs. And what I've also added in here is that I'm former UBS and former Big Four, because that in itself creates authority. So if you have anything like that, that creates authority, but also helps you to connect with your people, then that is a really good thing to add. Maybe you were at a large corporation before, or if you want to add tangible results, maybe you've helped 100 clients or whatever, something that people will see that they think, oh, I was at Big Four before too, or oh, I would love that too. So that you can add something like that, more of a connection piece, more of an authority building piece, that will help too. And this last thing here is to funnel for tips on content offers and landing clients without cold DMs, because that is what many people fear in my space, that they would have to cold pitch people. And I'm so not doing any cold pitches. I don't teach it. I don't appreciate when I'm cold pitched either. So that is why I've added that too. But let's scroll down so that I can show you why these first 6 to 7 words are really, really important. So if you look at your comments, these are the comments that you are doing. So press this, and then we check this one, for example. And what you can say here is helping coaches go from one-to-one grind to scalable growth using LinkedIn. Can you see how important those 6, 7, 8 words actually are? Same thing for Danny. What he has here, stress-free video content for founders. And here you can see he has his authority building here, the tangible outcome that he has added here, 200 plus companies served. So that is really important when you create your headline to make sure that the first 6 to 7 to 9 words, depending obviously on how long they are the things that are visible for when you comment on other people's things. That is what will be shown. Another thing, because now we're moving into the next piece here, your headshot, like your picture of you. Can you see my pink picture here? So when I comment on Danny's post here, you see that the pink here stands out. We have some orange, we have some purple, orange again. Danny has some kind of bluish color, and that really helps us to stand out in the feed when there are so many comments. Imagine if I would have a beige or a gray background instead. It wouldn't be as easy to stand out. Because if you then scroll down and you look at this person here, it has a little bit like a tile background, which might be a little bit difficult to actually see. But that is why I use a pink background for my profile picture. So now let's move into the profile picture and why that is important to you. This one is so important, and it can be done in the wrong way too, because it's so powerful when it's done right. As you saw, it shows up everywhere, in the feed, in the comment section, and in particular also when you are sending connection requests. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, there are some people who have in their privacy settings, you need to go to your settings, make sure that everyone can see your profile picture, not only your first connections, because that might be a reason why people don't accept your connection requests, because they can't see your face. It's such an easy thing to change. And I still see it happening that too many people actually has a setting that only allows first connections to see their profile picture. So head over to your settings after this and check it out. So what do you need to think of? Well, I like the picture to be pretty big of your face so that we can see your eyes, we can see your beautiful smile. We want to connect with a person that we really see in that picture. Some people might have a little more of an artistic way, and that's okay too. You know that people buy from people. So don't hide. And by the way, don't use AI to create your profile picture. That's just not, when you come on a Zoom call then with someone and you look nothing at all like what you did in that AI picture, you can lose trust so fast there. So make sure it's a picture of you, real you, not 10 years ago, but a fairly new picture of you. You don't need a fancy studio. Your phone is more than enough. You can put it up. It can be on your laptop, on a couple of books, and then you set it to, I think it's photography or something like that, studio, and then you set the timer, and then you take a couple of pictures. And then what I like to do, pop it into Canva, remove the background. For that, you need to have the paid version of Canva, but I think you can just upgrade for that. You need to check it out though. And then you add a colorful background. You saw that I had the pink one. You can add any other color that you really like, except maybe not beige or gray. Even if those would be your brand colors, use a pop color so that you really stand out. So let's sum this up. Your headline is so important because it is what people will see first when you send them a connection request. They will check out what is it that you say that you do. If it feels too icky or too salesy, they might not accept your connection request. It will show up in the comment section. You will be able to create curiosity so that people reach out to you organically and connect with you that way. And it will obviously show up on your own profile so that when people land on your profile or go to your profile, they will see your headline. Make it count. Don't waste this on funny, fancy, cute words or CEO, CFO, CHO, or whatever it might be. Use those words wisely. And remember, use the language that your audience would speak. Not how you might speak today, but the language that you spoke before if you are helping an older version of yourself. And then we have the profile picture. Make sure it's clear, we can see you because we really want to connect with you. And these two together, the profile picture, the headline, and then we add the banner that we had in last week's video. This is a really good base for your LinkedIn profile. I have a checklist that goes through all of the different steps of your LinkedIn profile, and I will add the link underneath here so that you can grab that mastery checklist. So that was it for today. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because next week we are going to look into the About section. What is it about the About section that you need to think about? And only 4% actually click see more on the About section. And then you might say, so Josephine, why the heck do I then even need to do anything about it? Because I think and I believe that it is because usually the About sections are so boring. We are going to make sure that people really click and read your About section. So join me in next week's video. Thank you. Bye.